We can't screw around anymore. We got to do the tier list after 3 races for the 2025 season. Also, I realized that Cole Custer was missing on this list. A bunch of you actually told me this, so we're going to have to make a sacrifice here with our boy Timmy Hill and just put Cole Custer's name on the back. Don't worry, Timmy. We're going to be using you for some really important things. All right, let's get into it. Starting off with the D- tier. Ty Dillon and Cody Ware both have been absolutely struggling since their Cup Series return. Austin Dillon screwed over his teammates, so we got to put him in D- category. And then Cole Custer has really been struggling with Haas returning up to the Cup Series. So these guys all doing really poo-poo in the first 3 races. Regular D category, we got ourselves Zane Smith, Josh Berry, and Eric Jones. These drivers, give them credit. They were actually able to do good in the non-points paying races, but these are points paying races, and they have not been shining. So D category is really the best for these 3 drivers. C- tier, give it to Connor Zillage for in his debut. He did decent moving out the field, but then got caught up in a wreck, finishes dead last. Daniel Suarez was the one who caused him to finish dead last. Justin Haley just kind of been mediocre so far. I mean, there were some shiny moments at Coda, but not really that much. Riley Hurst keeps finishing 17th, and you can't really move him any higher than that. And Ty Gibbs, just in C- because I didn't want to put him in D tier, I guess. I don't know why. He probably deserves to be in D tier, but he's in C- tier. Moving on. C tier, we got AJ Allmendinger. Did actually really good at Circuit of the Americas, but the finish was 30th, so how can you put him any higher from that? That is thanks to shitty tires. Noah Gragson shocked a lot of people and was able to finish inside the top 10 in Circuit of the Americas. Still needs to show me a lot more before we can move him any higher. John Hunter Nemechek, his top 20 journey comes to an end. He kind of finished right there in the middle, so just really mediocre so far, but still getting the better finishes, so he stays in the C category. Ryan Preece was able to win stage number 2, so good for him, but he wasn't really a factor to win this race, so C tier I think is a good spot for him. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the super speedway races are done until Talladega, so he's probably going to be moving down the tier list slowly but surely. B- tier, Kyle Larson, kind of a shocking one here, but he fell apart once stage 2 began and just never really got back. Todd Gilliland kind of been that dark horse that's been in the mix here. Same thing with Michael McDowell. And then Shane Van Gisbergen did really good here at Circuit of the Americas, could finally move up after his atrocious run in the super speedways. Now we move into the B tier. These are drivers who've been finishing in the top 10, top 15. We got ourselves Chris Buescher, Carson Hocevar, Ross Chastain, and Brad Keselowski. Probably the most shocking one has been Carson Hocevar. There's a good chance that this guy might end up in victory lane. A- tier, you got Austin Cindric, absolutely struggled at a racetrack we thought he was going to do good at. Bubba Wallace actually did good at a track that we thought he was going to struggle at. Alex Bowman's been pretty quiet, been running really consistent, so he deserves a spot in the A tier. And then Denny Hamlin got some damage early in the race, but still managed to stay in the top 20 for the most part, so we're going to keep him here at the A- category. Now we move on to the A tier. These drivers have been doing good at every single race, first starting off with Chase Briscoe. Yes, he's the last in the points, but that is mostly due to his team. And then Joey Logano actually had a surprisingly good finish at Circuit of the Americas, a track that we did not really expect him to run good at, so Joey Logano still being consistent. Yes, getting caught up in wrecks, but hey, he still deserves A tier. And then we close out with S tier in the S- category. We got Chase Elliott, who actually had a broken toe ligament and was still able to come back and finish inside the top 10, so really good run for Chase Elliott. And then Ryan Blaney, this was probably his worst race, but that's still been a really good run so far for Ryan Blaney. Usually at the beginning of the year he's done really good, so he is definitely a factor to be one of the top drivers so far in 2025. The top drivers in the S tier so far in the first 3 races: William Byron for winning the Daytona 500 and finishing second at Dakota, Christopher Bell for winning the last 2 races, Kyle Busch for being a factor in almost every single race. Same thing with Tyler Reddick. Right now these guys have been the championship for so far here in the first 3 races.